Hi, everybody. It's Tanya from Tango Business Coaching, and we are on day 6 of the 30-day leadership challenge. So, yesterday we talked about how we self sabotage, and I directed you to the positive intelligence saboteur assessment. So, hopefully, you went over and did that, and you learned more about your own saboteurs and how they show up for you. Don't forget that we all have that master judge, and that master judge is the one who does the triggering and brings all those accomplice saboteurs into the framework to help you react in a way that isn't helpful or positive to the situation. So today we want to talk about how do we intercept those saboteurs, and then how do we act in a different way and behave in a different way using the wisdom of our sage. So I know yesterday I said this was going to happen over 3 videos, but I think I can do these other 2 really quickly in this one video. So those are the 3 mental fitness muscles. So saboteurs, intercepting the saboteurs, and the wisdom of the sage. So those are the 3 components of mental fitness in this programming. So when we talk about intercepting those saboteurs, so now that you know a little more about how your saboteurs interact with you when you get triggered, you want to figure out how to intercept them. And the way to know that is to understand when you are in a negative emotion. So if you are in a negative emotion for, let's say, 10 seconds, the research is a little bit out there in terms of whether it's 4 seconds or 90 seconds, but generally speaking, let's use 10 seconds as a barometer. So when you notice yourself feeling angry, frustrated, stressed out, anxious, whatever negative emotion shows up for you, when you notice that for more than 10 seconds, it is extremely likely that you are being hijacked by those saboteurs and you are no longer in control of how you are responding. So the point is to notice it and stop it and intercept it. And once you intercept it, you can access the wisdom of your sage. So, how do you stop it? So, one way that we know works really well is by doing what we call a PQ rep. So, much like EQ, IQ, PQ is that positivity quotient, right? So, we call them PQ reps because you practice them. So much like going to the gym and doing, reps with a dumbbell or sit-ups or so on and so forth, you're building a muscle. So I want you to think about a PQ rep like going to the physical gym and actually doing a rep for your brain. So a PQ rep is essentially spending at least 10 seconds or more. You can do 60 minutes. You can do as many minutes as you want with a PQ rep, but a minimum of 10 seconds of hyper focused awareness on a physical sensation in your body. So, for example, that could look like rubbing your fingers together with such attention that you can actually feel the ridges on the fingertips. So you are paying so much attention to this physical sensation. And then you're paying attention to the temperature and, the moisture, if there's moisture, is it dry? Really, really paying attention to all the sensations that show up. Another one that I really like is trying to find all your toes. So I will sit flat footed and really hyper focus on trying to find every single one of my toes individually. And if you try this, that third and fourth toe, I mean, they're really hard to find individually. So hyper focusing on that. And what we do with a PQ rep is we use all 5 of our senses, right? So touch, taste, smell, visual cues. Which one am I missing? Sound. I'm missing sound. You want to pick one of those senses and really hyper focus on it. That's a PQ rep, right? And then once you are able to do a PQ rep, what we've seen in MRI imaging is that reptilian part of your brain immediately shuts down, and your prefrontal cortex, which is your higher thinking and rational brain, and the right side of your brain, that more creative side of your brain, lights up. 10 seconds of this work can shut down your reptilian brain and light up your higher thinking brain. So that is the power of doing this. And then once you have access to this other part of your brain, this is where the wisdom of the sage lives. So this is the third component of our mental fitness training. The sage allows you to make decisions using a calm and clear mind. And the sage accesses 5 powers, and these powers are empathize, innovate, explore, navigate, and activate. So I'm not going to get into what all those 5 are. You can certainly head on over to positiveintelligence.com and read up on it. But just know that once you get there, once you access that part of your brain, you can make a different choice. And I want to also acknowledge that these PQ reps that you can do them anywhere, and nobody has to know that you're doing them. If you're in a hotbed meeting and things are going on and you're getting triggered all over the place, you can sit in your meeting with your hands, rub your fingertips together, and nobody has to know you're doing it. 10 seconds. And I'll give you a for example. When I was driving the other day, which happens all the time to people, I got cut off like pretty severely, and I thought, in the moment, I might have said a few things in my car. I might have yelled a few things in my car, and then immediately noticed, because I've been practicing this work, immediately noticed I'd been hijacked. I drove with one hand on the wheel, question for another day, and I did the PQ reps with my fingertips. And by the time I got to the next stoplight, I had already calmed down. My heart rate had adjusted, my breathing had adjusted, my shoulders had relaxed, and I was able to think from this sage perspective. And I thought, I don't know this woman. Whatever happened just now was not personal, wasn't about me. She's probably having a bad day. It doesn't actually matter. We were all safe, we're fine, and we're moving forward. And my goal now is to get the children to school. That's how sage works. So your challenge for today is to try on some of these PQ reps. Play with all of your senses. Listen for the thing that is closest to you. Listen to the things that are the farthest away. Hyper focus on something that you're looking at, and really pay attention to texture and color and different elevations of things, and hyper focus on it. Pay attention to physical sensations, temperatures, all these different things. Find some things that work for you and practice them. So the challenge for today is to figure it out. The super challenge and the stretch challenge for you is to make a daily habit of trying some of these PQ reps multiple times throughout the day, embedded into your current, systems. So a great one for me is in the morning when I drink coffee, I hyper focus on the coffee. The look, the smell, the temperature, the taste, how it feels when it goes down my throat. Hyper focus on it. Another really great one is when you are in the washroom and you're washing your hands. What is the temperature of the water? Have you ever really noticed what water on your skin feels like? Pay attention to that. Temperature, how does the soap feel, as it's sliding around in your hands, and maybe there's bubbles that come up if you have a really good soap and you're lucky. How does all of that feel? Every time you go to the washroom, you can pay attention to washing your hands. There are many things you are doing part of your day that is already routine for you and habitual for you, that all I'm asking you to do is pay attention to it. So that is your challenge for today. Figure out the things in your day that you can pay hyper attention to and start practicing it. And then when you get triggered, stop, do one of these PQ reps that you've been practicing, and then make a different decision from the sage perspective. So I know this was a bit of a longer video. I apologize for that. Good luck with your challenge today. As always, if you need the tracking, the challenge tracker, let me know. I'll send it over to you. If you have any questions whatsoever about mental fitness and how your saboteurs show up, please reach out. It's free to have a conversation with me, so why not? So let me know. We'll have a conversation. I would love to help you with all of that. And in the meantime, good luck with your challenge, and I will see you guys here tomorrow. Have a great day.